Welcome back to another EFL Championship predictions video. We are at game week 5 of this 2023-2024 season, just before the international break. Last week in game week 4, top scorer with a brilliant score of 18 points and 5 perfect scores was Eddie Video Star. How that affects the overall table now? Well, top of the shop is our old friend GKK 474 on 54 points. Followed in second place by Miro on 51 points. So all to play for, plenty of time to go this season. Let's just jump straight into it. Before this international break, as I say, we've got Birmingham coming up against Millwall on Saturday at 12:30. Lunchtime in the UK. Birmingham City 3 wins on the bounce now, and Millwall getting back to winning ways with a fine 1-0 victory against Stoke City in their last fixture. I think at home the Blues in great form. I think they'll take all 3 points in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home victory there at St Andrews. Then we move on to the first of this season's 7-side derbies, where Swansea City, the Jacks, take on Bristol City, the Wurzels. Swansea without a win yet, and Bristol City only one victory themselves this season. Last weekend, Bristol coming away with a good 1-1 draw against Hull City, and Swansea losing at Preston, ultimately even going. They had a good first half there against Preston, but ultimately lost 2-1. I think this is going to be another tight encounter, and I can see it ending all square at the Swansea.com Stadium 1-1. We then move on to Coventry taking on Watford. Now, Watford haven't scored a goal in their last 3 fixtures after thumping, who was it in the first? Yeah, QPR 4-0 in that first match. But last time out, a reverse on Sunday against Blackburn Rovers 1-0. And Coventry now missing Hamer, it seems. A 0-0 draw against Sunderland, and Ellis Sims not really getting against the goals, is he? Another tight one, this one, but I do fancy Coventry at home, and I am going to go for a 2-1 home victory. Then we move on to Portman Road, where Ipswich Town take on Cardiff City. Cardiff gaining their first victory of the season, albeit it was a little bit late in injury time, where Will Volks handled the ball in the area, and Ryan Wintle putting away that 96-minute winner to beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. Ipswich Town, first defeat of the season in a humdinger of a match where they lost 4-3 at home against Leeds United, who look really good going forward. In this one, I think there'll be goals again. I think Cardiff now, they shored up a little bit defensively against Sheffield Wednesday, cutting out those mistakes before Barry Van did get that magnificent strike. But I think ultimately this will end up in a draw, but I can see goals in this one, and I'm going to go for Desmond's of 2-2 there at Portman Road. Then we return to Elland Road, where Leeds United, first victory of the season, as we said, against Ipswich on the road last time out, coming up against winless Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday still yet to record a point on the board. Looked a little bit better against Cardiff on the weekend though, but I see goals in this one, but I see them all go into the home side, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 home victory to Leeds. We then go to Leicester City, a team, as we mentioned, Sheffield Wednesday not getting a point on the board. Well, Leicester have got all 12 points on the board so far, coming up against a Hull side who haven't lost now since the opening day of the season. A good 1-1 draw against Bristol City last time out. However, in this one at home, Leicester City kind of starting to click. Okay, it was a 2-1 victory against Rotherham in their last fixture, and I think it's going to be another 2-1 win in this match at home against Hull. I can see the Foxes winning this one 2-1. Then when we move on to the Riverside Stadium, where Middlesbrough are really having trouble getting anything on the board. Another defeat in their last match against West Brom, getting a couple of goals in that one where they lost 4-2. And QPR, only the one victory this season, losing their other 3 matches, and a reverse against Southampton in that last fixture. I don't think there'll be many goals in this one, but I will give Middlesbrough the first victory of their season, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 home victory to Middlesbrough. We then move down to the south coast, where Plymouth Argyle take on Blackburn Rovers. Now, Plymouth, after a good early season promise, have lost both their last 2 fixtures, and Blackburn Rovers coming away with a very good win against Watford in that last encounter. In this one, I think it's going to be tight down on the south coast. Plymouth good at home, or they They're really hard to beat at home, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw there at Plymouth. Then we move on to New York Stadium, where Rotherham take on Norwich. Norwich starting the season really well. Another fine victory on the weekend where they smashed Huddersfield 4-0. And Rotherham now 3 defeats in their 4 matches. It was a narrow 2-1 loss against the Foxes of Leicester. So not being pushed over too much are the Millers. In this one though, I think Norwich will have too much in their locker for Rotherham, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 away victory to the Canaries. Then we move on to Stoke City at the bet 365, taking on Preston North End. Preston 3 victories on the bounce. Stoke City playing quite well, but the second loss of the season to Millwall in their last fixture, so another tight one this one, but I think it will be the first draw of the season for Stoke, and I can see this one ending up 1-1. Then we move on to the Stadium Light, where Sunderland, the Black Cats, take on Southampton. Southampton coming away with another 2-1 victory against QPR in the last match, and Sunderland, the first draw of the season against Coventry 0-0. Another tight one this one, but I think Southampton going to keep that theme of grinding out victories, and I can see the Saints coming away with another narrow 2-1 win. And the final fixture of this game week sees West Bromwich Albion taking on Huddersfield. Huddersfield finding really goals hard to come by this season, so only registering 2 this campaign so far. But West Brom in their last match came away with a fine 4-2 victory against Middlesbrough, and I think they'll follow up this one up with a 2-0 home victory over Huddersfield Town. So that concludes my predictions for game week 5. You can see them all on the board there. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. Tell me how you think the season in the Championship is going so far as well in the comment section. But for now, enjoy the Championship fixtures this weekend. Enjoy the international break as well, and I'll see you all next time for the predictions for game week 6.